Welcome to my online recipe and cooking guide called Kathy's Kitchen. This is particularly useful for young people looking to do great cooking with basic equipment. The recipe for my first entry is a long-time favourite of all my gorgeous girls at Burwood, and you know who you are, and it's Chocanana Muffins. And the first thing you need to do with any baking is get your oven preheated. For Chocanana Muffins you need to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. You must also prepare your baking tin. For muffins we've got a muffin tray, some muffin papers, that's going to make it easier to clean the tray, and also so that the muffin batter when they're cooked doesn't stick to the papers, we're going to give it a light spray with oil. So do this before you actually make your muffins, because if you get too excited when they're ready, you'll start spitting them straight into the tin without doing this, and they'll be too hard to clean out. Just a light spray with oil. I'm just using a canola oil here. And put them aside. And my oven's preheating at 180 degrees Celsius. Now, measuring your ingredients is a very important process in baking. You must have the right equipment for measuring dry ingredients and for measuring wet, and they're quite different. Measuring dry ingredients involves cup measures, and wet ingredients involves jug measures. The dry ingredients for this recipe are 1 cup of flour, self-raising flour, and the procedure for measuring correctly is to lightly spoon into the vessel that you're going to measure it. This is a metric cup. Tap to get rid of any air pockets, level it off. You can use a sieve to strain, aerate the flour, get rid of any lumps as well. It's the same procedure for sugar, and the amount of sugar we need is 2/3 of a cup of sugar. I won't be sieving that, however. And for the wholemeal self-raising flour, it's 1/2 a cup. That can go through the sieve too, but remember to tip out what's left in the sieve, because it won't be wholemeal if you don't do that. So this is just to aerate the mixture, make it lighter, tip them back in. Clean up as you go as well. And the other dry ingredients is 1/2 a cup of choc chips, and you can spoon that, mix it around. Now, the wet ingredients for this recipe are a banana, an egg, 1/4 of a cup of oil, and 2/3 of a cup of milk. So you'll need a plate and a fork. Now with your banana, when they go brown in the fruit bowl, don't throw it out. Let it go as brown as possible, and then put them in the freezer. And you can use them for all sorts of cooking, banana cakes and muffins. It's not rotten, it's not bad. It develops the flavour, and they're much more suitable for cooking. Don't use ordinary bananas that you'd eat for cooking, the flavour's not there. So mash your banana on a plate. Into a small bowl, break your egg. Give that a whisk. Add your banana. Now for the other liquid ingredients, we're looking at 1/4 of a cup of oil, just vegetable oil. I'm using canola. And 2/3 of a cup of milk. So with this recipe, it's easier to put all your dry ingredients into one bowl, your wet into another, make a well in the centre, tip that in, and then mix. And don't over mix it, just till it's all wet and all the dry flour is incorporated into the batter. Now you'll need 2 spoons for dishing out the mixture into the muffin papers. Right, now just 1 heap spoon first into all of them. Then if there's any mixture left over, you can evenly distribute that into the smaller ones. Now you'll also need to make sure that you have a skewer handy for when they're cooked. These need to go into the oven, hot oven, and they'll probably take around 20 to 25 minutes to bake. And when you're cooking, especially baking, you'll know when they're ready because you'll start to smell them. Cooking involves all of the senses: sight, taste, sometimes it involves sound, and it certainly involves smell. And when the muffins are ready, they'll start to smell. So if there's any there that you don't think are quite have as much mixture in them as the others, top them up. If you've made a mess on the tray at all, clean it up now because it'll burn. It'll be too hard to clean up later, just as I've done here. And they go into the oven at 180 degrees for around 20 to 25 minutes, and we'll be testing them in that time. Top to middle shelves best. Make sure you use oven mitts when you're removing them from the oven. Alright, I'm just going to check the muffins now. It's been 20 minutes and I want to see how they're going. If you're not sure if they're cooked, you can use a skewer to pierce them down to the bottom, bring them out. It should come out clean. These look like they're ready now. You can actually start to smell them in the house when they're almost ready. Put them onto a cake cooling rack. Switch your oven off immediately. And leave them there for a little while to settle. And when they're cool enough to handle, you can take them out of the tray and put them onto the cake cooling rack to cool. Alright, I'm going to take them out of the trays now. And by using the papers, there's minimal washing up. There's a little bit here to do, but not a great deal to get the tray clean. Thank you for watching my first entry. I hope it was useful. And stay tuned for my next entry, which is where we're going to be using the same muffin pan that we cooked a sweet snack, and we're going to make a savoury snack mini quiche.